Something a little bit new, peeps. Welcome back to the Red or Blue Pill. What we are going to do today is start a series, which is where we look at people and listen to what they got to say, but interesting people. So today's episode, we are going to start a series on Jordan Maxwell. So we're going to put about 20 minutes together of some clips from Jordan Maxwell, hear what he's got to say. If you like what you see, please let me know in the comment section. This is episode 1. So we're going to do a series. We're going to do more videos of it if it is well liked within the community. Obviously, if you like it, we'll do more. If not, we'll go back to the creepy TikToks. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments and let's roll.
So if they're coming from out there and they look like humans, they can mess with women and have offspring. They can sit and have dinner with you, and they look like good and handsome men, but they're not from here, and they're not men. They just look like men. That begins to make sense to me that perhaps what we are seeing today in the Middle East having to do with the Iraq, which Iraq was originally hundreds of years ago called Persia. Persia was called before that Chaldea. Chaldea before that was called Babylon. So what we're talking about is the king of Babylon. Now it begins to look like what's going on here is that our world is being run by very powerful men who care nothing whatsoever about human creatures. Do you care and worry yourself sick when you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and think about how many innocent families were broken up, how many chickens had to die? You couldn't care less. They're just chickens. They're just animals. And so consequently, I think that the sons of God, the Elohim, Anunnaki, I don't care what name you give them, they are still here. I am totally convinced that we are now seeing in the Middle East, with the United States government doing what it's doing, with the rest of the world preparing for something, tohu vohu. I think what we're actually seeing is a profound, awesome, terrible tribulation coming when the gods are going to battle like two men fighting over a woman. The gods are going to battle for the ownership.
Right. So that's what I've been saying, peeps, is that I have come to the equation through this journey. I think whoever controls this world or whoever made this world has access to the world and are here in today's world. So potentially the people that have made it have been around, are here for thousands of years. It's exactly what I'm trying to sort of articulate. But I think Jordan Maxwell, and this is why I'm doing this episode, because I think he's going to be able to articulate it far better than me. But this is kind of where I'm going, is that I think the people are still here. And I think that there is more than one G, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, the people, if we can make humans now, if we can do, we can clone babies and we can, put chips in people's heads. We are basically seeing a smaller version or a younger version of where we could be. You think in 2,000 years, what we would be doing with technology? Like if they are still here, but they keep doing resets and blah, 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 then they're going to be far more advanced. They are going to be like magicians or gods or whatever you want. But yeah, we'll let him explain, shall we? Oh, is that not working?
Of us. And consequently, when you understand that Saddam Hussein is Persian, Persia is Chaldean, Chaldean is Babylon. And we're talked in the Bible is filled with, in the book of Genesis and all the way through to Revelation, talks about how the gods of Babylon were to be cursed and they were evil, and that the good God was going to destroy Babylon. I think what we're seeing right now is in Israel, America, England, when you begin to look at the symbols, the words, the terms, the national coats of arms, the seals of nations, listen to what the president is saying. I am totally convinced for my own self, and I've been looking at this for over 40 years. I'm totally convinced what's going on right now is that the president of the United States has no control over anything. I think that what's going on is there are very powerful, awesome creatures on this earth that look like men and they act like men and they can eat with you, but they are not normal human beings.
Okay, whatever country you are from, not just America, anywhere in the world, do you think that the people that are the face of your country actually have a decision? Or do you think it is two birds, one stone, and actually there is someone in control? Whether that be, elites, men with money, what corporations, private corporations, whatever it is, deep state, I don't know, just use all the keywords. But that could genuinely be a different race or a far more advanced race that has far more many years because they've learned how to, you know, live longer than 100 years. If you can live 5,000 years compared to somebody who can only live 100 years, you're going to be far, like, yeah, you see what I'm saying? And then also, yeah.
These people are despotically powerful, murderous in their intent. They don't care a thing about human life because they created it. They don't give a damn about nations, races, children, family values. That's all crap to them. They created this creature called man. They are in a whole different world than we are. They don't see the same things. Their technology is so far above us. Their understanding of human creation is so far above anything we understand. They are, as far as we're concerned, gods. Consequently, I think that what we're seeing now is a war between the gods, and consequently, tohu vohu. I believe that it's my opinion that we're going to see in the next 2.5 years trouble like we have never seen it before. It's frightening.
I don't know the date of when this was recorded. It is obviously old, but it just feels relevant to today as well, So, yeah.
The implications of what I just think back on the gods when they're at war. You like war and you like bloodshed. Well, stick around. Now you're going to see how the gods do it. You love America loves all these war movies. Good, stick around. You're going to really want to see this one because the gods are going to show you what war is really all about. And it hasn't got a thing to do with sparing the children and only dropping bombs on military. No. The gods, they don't give a damn about none of it. They're here to do one thing, and that is control and take ownership of us, their creation. Incidentally, if the concept that I have outlined that we creatures, we humans, are actually the offspring of the gods, or some kind of a mating action between the extraterrestrials or the Elohim, Anunnaki, the ancient gods, whatever you want to call them. If there is something to this, if there is any validity to this concept that extraterrestrials who came from heaven, yeah, of course, if they came here and they said, come, let us create man or make man in our image and man or make man in our image and our likeness. You've got a very interesting situation here. You have Neanderthal or hominid creatures, and we haven't even discussed where the hominid creatures came from. We're not even dealing with that yet. But you're talking about an extraterrestrial life forms that look like us, and they have come here from another world, from another place in time, and they are attempting to procreate with the indigenous creatures that are here, and consequently their DNA and their system of their body system from where the world they have come from is so superior to ours. And yet they are smart enough to know how to blend our DNA, the creatures, the hominid creatures, with them. Is this how we got today? The Yetis, abominable snowman, the Yetis. What are some of the other terms that are used for those creatures? What is it? Bigfoot. Yeah, Bigfoot, the Yetis, whatever. They are hominid creatures. They walk on two legs like male. They look like men, but they are animals. But they are brilliant in intelligence and can outsmart anybody. They have obviously supernatural powers to go in and out of dimensions. There's a lot of
There's been a lot of experiments as well in history. If there's a lot of depictions of like half human, half animal type thing. You know what I mean? Like lots of it. So this could be just mad scientists going wild and experimenting, which is crazy to think.
material on that subject. So, and too many races of people around the world, from China to Asia to North America to all of the ancient cultures, talk about the Bigfoot, the Yetis, those mysterious creatures that live in the wilds. It would not surprise me if those Yetis, Bigfoot creatures, are the original experiments of the Anunnaki gods cohabiting and crossbreeding with the hominid creatures that were here, but they put too much of something in and not enough of the other, and they came out even more vicious than what they were and even smarter. But they're still animals. Well, they screwed up. Okay, now we got to do it something better, because this thing was, before it was just an animal. Now it's a vicious animal, and it has supernatural powers like we do. So, all right, and that thing's already gone. Let's forget it. Let's move it on and do it again now. This time we're going to do it better. And so now they do it again. And now they got it right. Now they got it balanced and got the DNA correct and got it right and gave birth to us. So I'm saying, if any of this has any validity, and I'm just pointing this material out because this is what the Bible says. And so consequently, if any of this has any validity, it very well might be, as my friend uh, William Henry has been talking about for many years, and Zechariah and all the rest of them. I think that we might be seeing a war being put together right now, not by men. It is very possible that we in this country and the world in general is being led. We have talked about Illuminati, the secret societies, the fraternal orders, even among the Masons of Europe. When you confront the Masons of Europe and you ask them, who actually is at the top of your organization? At the very top, who are they? They will tell you that they don't know. That is not to be discussed. They don't know who is at the top, and it's none of your business. And you want to stay alive and just do what you're doing, then you just take care of your business at this level and don't worry about who the boss is. And consequently, the Masons in Europe refer to their masters as, quote, the hidden chiefs or hidden masters. Somehow or another, the hidden masters behind world events. Today we refer to them as Illuminati or whatever. I don't think the Bilderbergers and the Council on Foreign Relations and any of those organizations are of any importance to me at all. Those are just the mundane nuts and bolts of how the organizations put together to make things work. I'm more interested as to who are the gods behind world affairs. Who are the brilliant minds at the top of the pyramid, symbolically? Who are the intellectual elites behind world events? I'm totally sure there's only a handful,
That is what I want to know too.
a very small, tiny handful, and I would be a bit surprised if they were the Elohim, the Anunnaki, the men who look like men, but are not men. Consequently, so many people have said, how can these people go to war, killing innocent women and children, like the First and Second World War, murdering and killing? How could men do this? I don't think men are doing it at all. I think that there are powerful entities in this world who look like men, and they give the orders, and you better jump. And I don't care if you call yourself president, it just don't matter. If you get in their way, they'd sooner kill you as anybody else. They got an agenda, and you had better jump when they say. And consequently, I think that's what we're looking at today, a war between the gods. It has nothing to do with the human element. It has to do with a cosmic, cataclysmic time in which the gods are battling now for our ownership. This is what Steven Spielberg and George Lucas have been telling you. Steven Spielberg in his movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. You need to go back and get the movie and watch it. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. What is the Last Crusade? Well, if you don't understand the first two Crusades, you're never going to understand the Last Crusade. Do you know what the Crusades were all about? Do you know who started the Crusades? And what were they crusading about? Well, it has to do with the ownership of people, international banking cartels. It has to do with the Knights Templars of the 9th and 10th century. So consequently, what if you don't understand what the first two crusades or the first three crusades, then you're not going to understand Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. What is the Last Crusade about? It has Indiana Jones looking for something called the Cup of Christ or the Holy Grail. The Cup of Christ, the Holy Grail, there have been many, many stories and many interpretations of this, but basically it goes back to one thing. The cup represents the holder of the wine. The wine is poured into the cup. The wine has always represented the blood of mankind. Jesus said, drink this wine, for this is the blood of the covenant. So you drink the wine, all of the men around the table would drink the wine. They are symbolically drinking the blood of the God so that they are locked into a partnership with God. You're drinking the wine, which is a ritual. The wine represents the blood. And in the Christian sense, it represents Jesus's blood that's being shed for us. So you're drinking the blood, taking an oath to lock yourselves together in a sacred mission. All right, but the Holy Grail, the lost Grail, is a cup in which you pour the wine. The cup represents the earth, and the wine represents the blood on the earth. So the cup represents the earth. The human blood on the earth is consequently whoever holds the cup holds the blood of the human family on the earth in his hand, which I believe is a symbolism of the ancient gods who have come here from another world, and they are saying, who owns this property down here? You know, well, we created it. You created it, but we own it. We're coming in and taking it over. And that's why Saddam Hussein has said he believes he is the reincarnation of King Nebuchadnezzar. I got a feeling that there's some really powerful, strange occultism going on in the Middle East right now. And we in America and England, the Western man is getting ready to get involved and become cannon fodder. We're going to become involved in a war that you have no idea in the world how big it's going to be. Because this has nothing to do with generals sitting down and plotting out some war plan. No. This is going to be one hell of a conflict. It's going to be a cosmic conflict between the gods. And even today, Christians are beginning to realize this is the things which are talked about in the Bible prophecies. We are in the time of the end. Yes, we're in the time of the end of the age of Pisces. And the coming age, by 2012, we will be fully into, according to the reference works, we'll be fully into what is called the beginning of the age of Aquarius. That is simply dispensations of time, 2,150 years of the age of the fish. This is why Christians have the fish on the back of the cars, and the water bearer, which is Aquarius. So what the Bible is saying is that there is one age that's leaving, that's a 2,150 year period, and another 2,150 period is going to begin. And who are going to be the gods of the new age, the gods of the new order of things? Well, it's like a prize fight, heavyweight champion prize fight. We're going to have to fight this one out, see who the best man is. You know, the two guys fighting over the woman. So consequently, I think what we're beginning to see and what we're going to see very soon is an all-out cosmic war in which we're going to also see, I think we're going to be privy to see supernatural things going on, not just in this war, not just in war. I think we're going to see some really strange phenomena being able to.
Well, there's been a lot of stuff going on and a lot of strange stuff going on right now. So, I mean, he's not too far wrong. And it is off-planet stuff. If you look around,
people are going to see it for themselves. Norio Hayakawa, dear friend of mine, I just spoke this past week at the Japanese Friendship Club in Little Tokyo for Norio. But Norio has been saying for many years, Norio is famous for his work with Area 51. But Norio Hayakawa has said so often that he believes that the United States government, and probably the world government behind it, is planning on having some kind of a UFO extravaganza that they're going to do themselves. There's going to be a show, and it's going to be the aliens landing here from another world, and they're going to cause this and that to happen. And therefore, all the nations are going to have to get together to fight this alien race that's here. And the whole thing is a show to fool everyone into joining a new world order collectively. And the whole thing will be a trick, and the trick is going to be so well done. The most ardent skeptic is going to believe it because it's really going to be a hot show. But nonetheless, as Norio says, the whole thing is a put-up job. Well, I said to Norio one night at a dinner after one of the lectures we were doing together at the table, and a bunch of the speakers were there, and it was in. And I said to Norio, I can take the same facts that you enumerated tonight that back up your theory. I can take the same exact facts and come up with a different theory that fits it equally as well. And I would say, it's just my opinion, but I could take the same facts you've come up with. You said that they were here, that they were doing this and that, and that they're going to land and make it look like. I wonder if it isn't going to be an actual, in fact, invasion of extraterrestrials invading us. I would not be a bit surprised if the U.S. government knows that it's going to happen. They've already been told that these gods are going to do battle with other gods who are coming here for the ownership of the earth, and that you are and the governments of the world of this earth are being told either you're with us or you're with them, and you had better be with us because we're already here.
that is the end of the show, peeps. Thank you for watching. If you want an episode 2, let me know in the comment section. I've got content ready to roll. Didn't want to make it too long. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you again tomorrow.